We're talking Evos here, and one of the conversations that we're having is V8, big car, big black Z28 that I run, and then transitioning it over to the Evo. So let's talk a little bit about that.
So my name is Geoff Raicer. I'm from Full-Race in Phoenix, Arizona, and what we do is we manufacture turbocharger kits, and we distribute the turbochargers that Ken is using on his Evo. And we manufacture a bunch of different size kits depending on what the power band is and what the target application is. And a lot of times in these communities, people are trying to impress their friends with the dyno number. And as a result of that, they're losing the power band that makes a car so fun to drive. And the interesting thing about Ken's car is that he has one of the smallest turbos, I think maybe the smallest turbo I offer for the Evo. And it's actually a very low selling application because nobody wants to only make 450, 500 horsepower in Evo. They think, what is that? And personally, I'm an engineer and I'm very passionate about turbocharger performance. So learning that Ken runs the same kit that's on my personal car got me really excited because nobody else believes me that this kit is phenomenal. And I know firsthand it works because I'm daily driving it and having a lot of fun with it. Ken found a lot of success with it. So I was really interested knowing Ken's background with the Chevy V8. What is it like to drive this 4-cylinder, small displacement, 2.3 liter rather, engine with this turbo on it?
We're running Optimus Search for the Ultimate Street Car, and we have all these different driving applications that we have to get through. We have an acceleration speed stop that we do where we drag race the car, turn it around, and then stop in a box. So it really puts a lot of stress on that motor. We have an autocross setup where you're driving through cones, and that's a whole different power application. And then we take it out on the road course too, and that's a whole different animal. So we needed something that was versatile, that would work in all three of those venues. Plus, we're taking it out on the street on a road rally, and we just have to drive it around town. And one in particular was the Strip in Las Vegas. So you have to have some mild manners around town, but it has to turn into a wicked beast when you really need it to. So, and that's what we found. Now, I'm come out of a Z28 Camaro, making 740 horsepower, big horsepower, V8 power. It's just raw, it's big, heavy car, and you really have to manage that power with your right foot. With an Evo, it's a completely different animal. You've got turbo lag, so your brain is telling you don't get on the throttle right now because you're expecting that instant torque hit. Well, with this car, you've got to get on the power early, wait for things to spool up and rocket off the corner from that perspective. So you've really got to train your eyes and the seat of your pants and your brain to get into that throttle sooner than it normally would. And once you get that mastered, man, you can really drive that car fast.
So the interesting thing is you said it has turbo lag. If you actually drove what would be historically considered a big turbo Evo, those things have turbo lag.
Yeah.
This thing is like not even in the same league as far as what lag goes. In fact, the turbo that's on the car is an IndyCar turbo. So IndyCar runs a 2.2 liter V6 twin turbo with two of these. Well, what we're doing is, because it's such a kind of modern aerodynamic turbo with a lot of neat features, we put a unique housing on it for twin scroll to suit the Evo architecture. And it's I'd say about as lag-free as you can get for the 500 horsepower target.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to, as everybody, and we talked about dyno numbers and everybody wants to have those bragging rights, but if you can't really use that power to your benefit, and we're racing this car, what's the point of it all? And our sweet spot for this car right now is right around 500 to 510 wheel horsepower, and that's what we're seeing out of this car. Now, if you can make more, I'm all interested. I'm all ears. So let's talk about that, and especially having a motor that will live throughout the whole season without having to touch it. I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, the motor is always an issue on any highly boosted 4-cylinder car. And a lot of the guys who are into this as enthusiasts, they're not pushing it nearly as hard as you are on a track. Maybe street or an occasional drag race pull, but it's a totally different level of abuse.
Yeah. I mean, what I'd like to typically see, and you see rally cars with these motors, and of course the drag cars that you're talking about, and they're really stressed. But man, I would really like to see something in the 550, 600 horsepower range that I could drive every day at the track and on the street. Come on, man.
We can do it.
Make me something like that.
I was talking to Ronnie about it. He has the next size up turbo, and he seems to be really happy with it.
All right.
So, I mean, there's definitely room for more airflow.
See? Everybody has to improve every year when they're running this series, or else you get left behind. We're already talking about it right now.
Yeah, the question is it always comes down to power band. What compromise do you have to make, and how much compromise is there? Does it affect you? And
hey, make the power, and I'll drive it to make it work. Make me the power, and I'll make it work.